Awesome. Hello and welcome. This is Julia Katsivo. Thank you for joining me today for our masterclass, Find Your Best and Profitable Clients. Today we're going to have a lot of fun and we're going to delve really deep into finding the kind of clients that we want, who are going to pay us what we need so that we can keep doing our great work and grow our business. And so I'm really looking forward to spending the afternoon here with you. It's going to be a pretty interesting agenda. I'm not sure if you had a chance to look at the email that was sent out to you. It would have been yesterday, last night, or this morning, and it had an agenda. If not, no problem. We'll go through that. I look forward to joining you today again, as I said. And if you have any questions or anything like that for me, I'll show you real quick how we can stay connected. So we're going to have a lot of fun today, and I want you to be ready with your paper and pen. Suspend any of your disbelief over some of the material that you're going to hear. And the reason I say this is because a lot of times we go into different learning environments and we have our own prejudices and we have our own ideas of how things should go. And what that does is it blocks a lot of great learning tips, a lot of great strategies that could be used to instantly change our business. I know that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for listening to other people who had walked the road before me and succeeded, and applying the strategies that they provided successfully to my business, tweaking it obviously to make it my own. So once more, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to really enjoy ourselves, and I really appreciate the time that you're taking to be here with me. I do not take that for granted. You could have been anywhere. And I also appreciate all the people who will be watching the replay later on, taking down the notes, applying to their business, and getting back to me to let me know how things are going. I'm kind of like a mom in that sense. I want to know. I always want to know how things are going and how I can help. I'll always want to know, okay? So that's just deal with that. This is what we're looking at for today. We are looking at my intro. We're saying hi. We are also going to, I'm back here, thank you. Now again, who is Julia Katsivo? What can we expect today? And how are we going to stay connected? For 17 years, I worked for several Fortune 500 companies and the Canadian federal government, the Canada Revenue Agency. So the Fortune 500 companies included TELUS Communications Inc., Honda Canada Finance, Rogers Communications Inc. And when I worked for Canada Revenue Agency it was about 7 years before I started my business, I was working with small businesses. I was working with sole proprietors, partnerships, and incorporated entities. And so I got to see a lot about, what made some businesses successful and what made some businesses fail. And we got to work with a lot of businesses so that they could be sustainable, or we could find a way to maybe close them down because it wasn't working out, anymore for them. Now, when I was working for these different companies and I was going up the ladder and I was learning all the different skill sets, there was something inside of me that just was pretty miserable. and I wasn't fulfilled at all. There was no calling there. It really was a paycheck. That's what I was working for. And I found myself drowning in vices and trying different things so that I could sort of make it through that 9-to-5 sludge. Now, I know a lot of people that I talk to, they identify with this, they know what I'm talking about. And I'd like you to think about your own situation and maybe why you want your business to succeed, because it's really important to have your why. So I'll just give you a moment, just really think about why you need your business to succeed, and then I'll go on with my story here. So the reason that I needed a different outlet was because I wasn't getting that fulfillment from my regular paid job, and it didn't matter how great the pay was or what the case was. And so I started a journey at the beginning of 2011. It was the end of 2010 when I just got that epiphany that said, you know what, get out, start something new. And at the beginning of 2011, I started a journey that took me 4 years without a coach. See, I didn't go for a coach or a mentor, and that honestly was my first mistake. I just sort of decided to go it my own way, and that's what I did. So it took about 4 years of making serious mistakes and going through learning curves before I enlisted the help of coaches and mentors. And then 3 years, my business took off. And it was maybe 4 years ago that I resigned from the Canada Revenue Agency. So I left that very comfortable job, the pension, everything that, you know, people usually gasp at when you say you're leaving a very comfortable job. And I started my own business. I also had different ventures on the side that I was interested in pursuing, and that became my focus. Since then, I have received a couple of awards, including the Canada Top 100 Black Women to Watch in 2016. I have been featured in television shows in Canada. I've been featured on radio stations in the United States. I have also participated in numerous conferences. I have held workshops, retreats. I have brought in lots of clients, and I'm honestly just, when I think about a dream job and that sense of fulfillment that I was lacking before when I worked for all the different companies, including the government, I have that sense of fulfillment now because I get to see what I'm doing in real time. I've been featured by Forbes. My articles are published on Forbes. So it's a pretty great life, and it's only just beginning. And again, for all those who are just joining us, I just want to say thank you and welcome. I was just going through a quick rundown of who Julia Katsivo is. If you aren't here from the very beginning, you missed an episode where my 9-month-old puppy just went buck wild with the screaming and the barking. And kids and puppies, right? They tend to do such strange things, like when you're getting on the phone or when you have something important to do suddenly, their voices need to be heard. All right, let's move on. Now, because of my work, I've been able to work with different people, and I've been able to help different people to go on their road to achieve their goals. And really what I found for myself is that I specialize in focus. So that's what I do best. You know, like I'm just really able to sizzle down to the bare bones of an issue and just tell it as it is. So I find that we have a lot of clutter around us. And usually what this clutter does is it prevents us from seeing just a really straight path to what it is that we want to do and where we want to go. I've found that with focus and just like being really crystal clear on one definite thing, that we tend to go quickly, we tend to be successful, and we tend to master that one thing, and then we can move on to the next thing. So that's really what I'm good at. And that's what makes me different as a business coach for startups, is that I call myself a focus coach because that's where my strength is. That's where my magic is. So today's agenda, we're going to talk about the client buying journey. And I'm going to share with you why this is golden to understand and use for your business success. You know, you're going to love the aha moments you'll receive from the very get-go. These are aha moments that I've received, that my clients have received, that people in different workshops have received, and I continue to see the results myself. It's really incredible, and I'm excited, and I hope that you will catch on to that too. Now, here's where our time together is going to be different. We're going to have several offline breaks. Now, what? Yes, we're going to get off the laptop, the computer, the phone, and this is after each major segment. And what I want you to do with that time is to work on what we've just discussed using your template. If you don't have your template, go real quick on juliakatsivo.com and sign up for it. It's your workbook. That's what you're going to use. And if you want to get the most out of that template so that you can start to see your results immediately, this is something that you're going to need. So we're going to take a break, and what you're going to do is you're going to work off of that template. When we come back, we're going to create your best and profitable client. Now, best and profitable, what is that all about? Well, you're going to have to join us to find out. Now, for the next offline break, you're going to work on, continue to build on what we've touched upon for the last 2 sessions. And also, you're going to text 416-668-9230 at this time and get your personalized answers. So these are the questions that come up as the session is going on, or particular to your business model or your type of client. I work with people who are in really interesting fields. I've dealt with lawyers. So I've dealt with people in interesting fields where it may not just be a generic buying cycle, you know, where someone sits down and says, I wonder if I should get in trouble with the law today. Let's go out and find a lawyer to rescue me, as an example. And so this will be a really good time for us to just do that as well. You can also get additional support. Now, to get your best and profitable client, we're going to spend quite some time on that, because that's usually the touch point and the tough point for a lot of people, where they don't really know how to just really finalize that. Okay, so let's start. So the client buying journey. Now, if you've been to business school or if you've been in marketing for corporations, then you're pretty familiar with the client buying journey. A lot of the people that I deal with, they don't have that background, okay? So what they do is they go in because they have products and services that they want to sell, and they're passionate about that. When it comes to the client buying journey, I might as well say, you know, the ABCs of selling, you know them, don't you? No. So I'm here to explain to you what this is and why this is amazing and how it applies to your business. So real quickly, if you have your template with you, you'll see that it's really broken down into greater detail. But there are 3 stages to the buying cycle, or the buyer's journey. So I call it the journey, and sometimes I'll use the word cycle. And the 3 broad distinctions are awareness, consideration, and purchase. So for awareness, we're looking at parts A and B of the free template, and you're going to touch this when we go on the break, okay? So for now, just listen, take your notes. This is how it works with a client with a buying cycle. And this works for you, this works for me, this works for every living soul. This is how we act when we are going to make a purchase. And usually we're not aware of this process. It's only marketers and people who need to be aware, like you and me, who slow down what human beings do, break it up into different pieces, examine those pieces, and then see where they fit in. So this is how that works. Usually in awareness, we have the general population, and we know that there are many different products out there. So as an example, I'm going to use cars. Most of us know that there are cars out there, that there are car manufacturers and that there are people who sell cars. And while we're aware that there are vehicles out there, we may not necessarily need a vehicle or anything like that. We just know of vehicles. And in order for us to continue to know this, we get to see the ads on television. And we also get to see billboards and also flyers. So different marketing marketing tools that I use to say, you know, cars exist. We have new cars. Cars are coming out, especially in September of each year. Now, if your car broke down, then you would be in a different stage of awareness, where you are aware of cars, but now you need to start looking at something that is a little closer to home. So your car has broken down, you know, it's a write-off, and it's time to buy a new car, which means now that you have a need. This is an interesting and important part, because it's one thing to talk to people about your products and services when they know about them in general, but it's quite another to talk to someone who could potentially be a client. And this is where we want to start to know who these people are. Now, the person who's looking for the vehicle is going to maybe take his or her time, because maybe there's a bit of life left in the older car, or it's the summertime and they can use the bus, or they can walk, or maybe they work close to home. So for now, it's not that bad, which means that the problem is not a problem. It's just an awareness of a problem. We enter the consideration stage at the part where the person is thinking, okay, winter's coming, or my car's about to give up and I need a solution. I need to get something now. So let me start looking at what my budget can hold. Let me look at the manufacturers who are around. Let me see where I can get extra information. This is a really great place to be in as a person who's offering products and services. This is where you go in depth with your material. So at the very beginning, you'll always provide general information targeted to the people who are in the awareness stage. In the consideration stage, this is where you go into a bit more in-depth information. So if you're selling cars, this is where people need to know about the mileage and gas and how many kilometers and the price and what's the benefit. The third is purchase. So you know you have a need, you've looked for the solution, and this is now we're looking at the different cars, we maybe test drive a little, and we ask our friends and family, and then finally we make settle, and we settle on our solution. The purchase stage is where you now have your offers. So when you're targeting people at this particular point, your key focus is to make it really easy, really simple, real easy for them to make a purchase. A lot of times we have really complicated landing pages, or we have complicated copy on social media where someone's like, okay, what's the call to action? What do you want me to do? I don't know what to do. You've just given me a lot of information and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. So in this stage, the purchase stage, you want to make it real easy for the person to know what to do and how to do it. Why is all this important? I mean, you just want to sell your products and services. You just want your best and profitable client. All of that just sounds like, I don't know, what is all that, Julia? Well, as I mentioned before, when you know the 3 different stages of your particular client's buying cycle, you can then make material that is specific to each stage. Number 1, you're not wasting time anymore. Number 2, you're targeted. You're targeting different people at different stages. When someone expresses interest at any one of these stages for any one of your marketing material, then you know where that person is and what that person needs, and you know what you can provide. Isn't that awesome? I just think it's awesome. This is important because you get to know your audience. No more giving big, wide strokes of clients that you want to deal with or work with and basically describe every demographic on the planet. And also it'll allow you to listen while you're speaking to people to know the cues. Where are you at what point in your journey? How can I help? Where do I step in? What do I provide? This is a lot of information that I'm giving you. It's really vital that you take it in, that you make your notes, that you keep your questions and ask them to me. Ask me your questions. I'll provide you that number to text at the appropriate time. I want you to take a moment right now and just think about how useful knowing the 3 stages for your specific client will be for you. There's some people who, and it's not some actually, it's most people, this is murky at the very beginning because you don't really know your client that well, and you don't really know your client's journey because you probably have 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 scenarios in your head. Well, this is why I'm here. We're going to walk through this. We're going to take care of this. Now, for the clients that I've worked with that I've been able to apply the buying cycle to them, meaning that I didn't teach them, I didn't show them any of this, but I was able to take what they were after and break it up and provide them with targeted material. They found it very useful. And the one thing that they found worked really well for them was the accountability and the targeting that went in what they were trying to do. I find that a lot of people give up because it gets tough. You walk in, you've got so much psych for what you're doing, you've got such a deep love. You go in and then you find out that nobody wants to pay you your prices, that you don't even know where to begin. And I have to tell you, when I started in this industry, I didn't know anyone, I didn't know anything. I was coming from the corporate world. I just knew that I needed a vehicle to lead me to my next life. And my next career decision did not fit into a cubicle or an organization. I had to start my own business. And that's the reason why I started a business. And, you know, going out into the world and wondering, how do I market myself? How do I stand out? First of all, you discover that you're 1 in a million. There's so many of you out there. And, you know, how do I stand out? What do I do? It's all daunting, and I get it, but I was able to quickly figure it out because, again, I said, you know, that laser focus, that going in, that really working it. And I was able to go in and just start carving out a niche for myself and making it very clear what I did. what helps is knowing who my people are and where they are and what I can provide at each stage of their journey. And that's why this is really, really, really important. Now, if you don't have your template, I want you to go right now to juliakatsivo.com. And it's still there, the template. Let me check. Yes, it is. Okay, go to juliakatsivo.com. It's going to be like the first thing that stares at you. Download your template real quick and start looking at parts A, B, C, D, E. So what that does is it breaks it down for you in a story form. Now, I want you, at the beginning I said that I want you to suspend your disbelief, and this is where this comes in. So this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to fill out this template, because a lot of people, they don't quite have that creativity in them, which they do, but they don't want to unleash it. Whereas it's easy for me because I'm a writer first, I'm an artist. And I found this to be very important because it gets real intimate with the type of person that you're dealing with. So I want you to imagine for a second that you're your client, okay? Your potential client. And if you don't know who that is, that's okay. Just create one, okay? We're in the business of creating. When we have products and we have services, the one thing that we don't realize is the power that we have to create clients and to create money and to create the life that we want. It's here, it's ours, guys. So I want you to go and step into the shoes of the person who you would like to work with, the person who you would consider your best and profitable client. Now, those two words go together because your best and your profitable, they can be two separate creatures. We want them together. We want your best and your profitable clients. So go into that headspace and imagine who that person is and give that person a name. So I usually call mine Mary or Julia. And you're going to start thinking about that person in that person's language. What is that person feeling? What does that person say? This is not the time to be objective. This is the time to go real deep in the feelings and the needs of that person and fill out the story the way it's been broken out for you. If you're still experiencing difficulty, this is what I suggest. On the template, at each part, there is an example. So what you do is you simply replace that example with your own story. So if there's a part on the example that says, I'm just giving you an example here, that says, hi, I'm Julia, I'm between 30 and 37 years old, and you really can't think of anything, just replace those words. Say, hi, I'm John, I'm 40 to 45 years old. Just start replacing those words so that you come up with your story, so that you come up with your client, so that you come up with a client's journey. And something really amazing is going to start to happen for you. You're going to start to experience joy, and you're going to start falling in love with your client all over again because you get to experience that person's story in real time. Also, you will start to see where you can insert what kind of material when. Now, a lot of people have opt-ins on their websites that don't work. And the reason is because they're disconnected, utterly, completely disconnected from the client's buying cycle. When you have this buying cycle written down and you know what you're writing and you know what that person is feeling, you get to see aha moments in terms of, got it. This is where I can offer that 3-step program. This is where I can offer my PDF. This is where I can offer the video. This is where I can offer. You see, you start to see those wonderful, wonderful opportunities just jump out of the paper at you. It's such an incredible feeling. You're going to be really, really excited about this. Now, I want you to come back because we have tons more to go through. So you have your download. You're going to work on this. In the meantime, I have a few spaces to speak with some of you. So text the number on the screen, the 416-668-9230. You're going to text that number and we're going to book you in for a time to speak with me. Now, this is important if you are serious about the direction that you want to go in your business, if you're tired of trying different things and they're not working out for you, and if you are ready to own the market space and just go all out with your products and your services. So you have your download, you have the number to text. We're going to take a break. And when I come back, we're going to work on our best and profitable client. You're going to come back because we're going to talk about the common mistakes that most entrepreneurs make in getting new clients, which leads to poor retention, which leads to non-paying clients. How many have experience with that? The people whom you start off with such a wonderful journey and then halfway through you're in deep regret as to why that person is in your life and not in a bad way. And how to create your best and profitable client. Now, remember I said that we're in the business of creating. We're in the business of creating, people. The magic, the power, it's ours. We get to create the job situation that we want, the lifestyle that we want, the people we want to work with. We get to do all that. And if I sound excited, it's because I am. I get to do what I am passionate about. And that's what makes me happy. And so do you. So do you. So don't get caught up with, oh, I'm not able to find my target. I'm having issues in marketing, anything like that. There's solutions for everything. And the key thing is to ask, what am I willing to do to get the results that I want? So right now, I want you to get that template out, start working on it, and also book your focus call with me, 416-668-9230. Let's have that call in. You're texting. Let's have that call booked so that we can start working on getting that focus clear for you. We're coming to the beginning of September, the last quarter of 2017. And if you're honest, you're looking at some of your goals and you're feeling a little intimidated. Am I going to really be able to hit my target? Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Like, is this going to work out for me? Is this really happening to me or for me? And I just want to let you know that all is well, man. Like, we just need to get help in the areas in which we are weak or we have no knowledge. And knowing the client buying cycle, knowing how to target your marketing, knowing how to speak to the different people in the different areas, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. So I have my eye out here for your texts, and also we'll be back in a jiffy. So thanks for being with me so far, and just we'll be right back. Okay, so we'll make it it's what, 12:28 right now? Yeah, okay. So just a little before 12:40, come back. Okay, thanks. For the template, I know sometimes when I go for those live events, I tend to quickly use the bathroom break or go get a refill on liquids. I'm a huge liquid person. Tea, water, lots of tea and water. So you have a number there that you can text. If you can share with me your questions so far. I know we have a section in which you're going to get a personalized answer, but you can definitely go ahead and share with me your questions so far. And also, I would advise you, if you haven't had a chance to speak with me yet, to book your 30-minute focus call right now. This is really helpful if you've had a chance to look at the template and if you take the material that we've taken and discussed so far and help you get a clearer picture on what it is that you're trying to do for your business, where you're aiming to go, what you are looking to achieve, and that sort of thing. Okay, so just be a minute and we will, okay, good. Dive right in. Now I want us to talk about creating our best and profitable client. You know, there's some topics that people will talk about that they can talk about for days or years. They're really excited about what they do or what they've discovered or what they've learned or what they're learning. For me, I'm learning something new every day about a best and profitable client. This is really exciting information for me at this time because I've just gotten really tired of the time wastage and the amount of money and resources that go into building products and services for clients, and then the inability to get them. Too many people are giving up and going back to daytime jobs in which they really have no business going back to. And I get it, we have bills to pay, but it's such a disservice to the world when the wrong people are in the wrong jobs. Just as an example, if you've ever gone by a coffee shop, there's a huge difference to the rest of your day, believe it or not, from a coffee shop interaction. If you have someone who's bubbly or who has a deep love and respect of what he or she is doing behind the counter, it sets the tone for the rest of your walk that day. If you have somebody who's grumpy or just really just inundated with too many people, rush hour, and this is just the job that pays the bills, it does a number on you. And it takes a lot of conscious effort to not be influenced by people's energy, but subconsciously we take a lot of energy from each other. And one of the things that I'm very, very, very careful about is how I use my energy, how I give it out, and how I receive it. I've found one of the best uses of energy is doing what you love, and working in a capacity in which you are uniquely gifted or special or equipped to work in. You give people a better experience, people get to retain more, they get to apply more, they get to prosper. It just all around works out. So a best and profitable client needs to be the person who honestly makes you so grateful for what you do. And I know you're in this business, you need to make money. But if you go to bed, or if you wake up in the morning, or if you have a moment during the day when you think to yourself, my goodness, I am the luckiest person alive. I have the greatest job in the world. I am doing amazing things here, and I am so deeply grateful. If you can have those moments and you get them as a direct result of an interaction with a client, that is your best and profitable client. If ever you've wondered, that is the person. Now, there's a difference between feeling that way after you've helped someone who can't help you or can't pay you, and feeling that way with someone who can and is able to and has paid you and continues to pay you. A lot of times we feel that we can't have both. We feel that, oh, I don't want to be greedy and I'm not in this for the wrong reasons. My heart is in here. I really want to help people. But when we're not careful, that kind of thinking takes us down a path where we're not worth getting paid or getting clients who will pay us without a problem. And we begin to think that, maybe it's just, this is the norm and this is how it is and this is how it should be. That's not true. Because on the flip side, you have no problem paying for what you want. You have no problem coming up with the money to pay for what you need. And you never make it anyone's business how you did that, right? Like, you just come up with it. You don't give long stories or sap stories or sob stories. It doesn't matter what's happening in your life, you handle it. So why do we not expect from others the levels and the standards that we set for ourselves? So what we have here is a mindset issue. And I'm going to go in with the common mistakes and how to create your best and profitable client. But all of that will do nothing and will mean nothing if we don't really consider our mindset, our expectations, what energy we put out when we're speaking with people and when we're attracting people. And we also don't consider the language that is used with us and the excuses we make around them. So this is just an awesome lead in to the common mistakes most entrepreneurs make in getting new clients. And again, as I keep saying all this, if you have any questions, because we're going to have a part where I just give you your personalized answer. And these are awesome on-the-spot coaching sessions. I usually jump on them because I want to get as much information as I can and as much clarity as I can around a problem that I have. So I do encourage you to take advantage of this. Text this number, 416-668-9230, and get your question in. So one of the common mistakes that entrepreneurs make when they're getting new clients is accepting any kind of language. Now, we're not talking about swear words or anything like that. Think deeper. So you'll have a conversation with someone, and that person will bring to you everything that that person is, including any objections, hesitations, what they think or feel about those kinds of products in general, about the pricing, and they bring them to the table. Now, remember that you're in the business of bettering people's lives. End of story. The only reason a business is in existence is to make money, right? So in exchange for goods and services, you make money. The only reason why someone will part with his or her money is because that person is getting something that will make that person feel better. At that very moment, that person is looking for an enhancement. So you're in the business of enhancing. You're in the business of up-leveling. You're in the business of taking someone from one place to another. You are the bridge that takes someone from a state to a different state, from a want to a fulfilled need. So when they come to you, they're not at the same level with you, because you are the one who has within your products and your services and your personality what is needed to up level, what is needed to bring over, to bridge over, to make the person's life better, to refresh, to renew. You're the answer to a solution. So the person is in need. And the language that the person will come to you with is a needy language. It's need. A lot of times what entrepreneurs do is they forget their position, they forget their stake, they hand over their power subconsciously and subliminally, and they start to speak in the language that the potential person is speaking to them with. And it becomes a huggle of worthiness. It becomes a huggle of, no, really, I'm worth it. Buy me, try me, take me. When in actuality, the language that entrepreneurs should be using at all times and always is you are standing at the door with a key to a really great life based on what you're providing and based on what you're doing. And so you should hold that position rightly, uprightly, and be the authority figure when you're presenting your solution. So challenging our leads and our potential clients in the best language ever, loving language, but language that asks a person to play a bigger game so that they can get what they want, and having the person be decisive. So we're not making decisions for people. We're not in the business of convincing people. We're not in the business for begging for business. We're not in the business for relying on people. We're in the business of providing solutions for people who are looking for them. And when people want something, they will buy it. Believe you me. A lot of entrepreneurs take the I don't have any money, or let me think about it, or mainly it's I don't have any money. So I'll just stick to that one for now. What they don't understand is that very same person will need something that's 10 times more expensive within 24 hours and will somehow find the money to pay for it. You know this because you've seen it time and time again, where someone will look at you and say, I don't have the money, turn right around and purchase something else that was needed at that time. It's always a case of priority. And so the common mistake, number one, is not listening to the language, matching language. More importantly, not doing their job, which is to uncover the real reason for the need, addressing the concerns, and if in fact there's a genuine need for what it is that you're offering, and making the exchange. Another common mistake that entrepreneurs make is not paying attention to where the person is in the buying cycle. And so expending a lot of time and energy on people who are honestly, frankly, they're just shopping. Like, they really appreciate you answering all their questions and taking the time to sit down with them and give them extensive stuff. But they're not parting with any money. They're just gathering information. So thank you for all that, but that's it. The downside to providing too much information is that you basically make it so easy for the next person to close the sale because you've given them everything they need. And now when they get to the next stage, which is the next stage of the buying cycle, which is always a step closer to the purchase, they've already been primed. They know what the costs are. They know what's coming. And now the question is, they just met someone at the right time and they parted with their money. Now, this is something that I personally believe, which is that what is for me is for me. What is meant for me will always come to me. And what is meant for you will always come to you. So what this does is it just reminds me that we've got so much in this world. There's more than enough. We have no need to worry or be afraid or anything like that. But it's also very important to know where someone is in the buying cycle, so that you can know what kind of energy to extend and how to use your products and services best. So as an example, the first stages of the cycle, you want to really concentrate on giving information, and you want to concentrate on giving information without you necessarily being there expending too much energy. And this is where you have a lot of what they call freebies that lead to opportunities. And then the bulk of your energy will be spent toward the latter stages. So we're not saying that you give inferior service, not at all. It's just, how deep do you go? How far do you go? And at what stage? So when you know your buying cycle, it'll really help you figure out your marketing material and what it is that you're going to do with it. Let's talk about how to create your best and profitable client. Now, remember I told you to create an avatar, so go into the head of your client and map out that journey. Well, the other thing that you must do is think about best and profitable in the same sentence. Now, this is how you know that you're working with your best and profitable client, okay? When you're able to get the person who will pay you what you ask for, to get what he or she needs, who will use what he or she has purchased for outstanding results in his or her life. So when you get someone who pays you and they actually use the products and services that you're selling, and they benefit from the products and services that you're selling, that is your best and profitable client, because you are able to significantly change that person's life. You're able to deliver on the promise, the up-leveling. You're able to deliver on making that person's life better, on bringing a different situation that's more desirable. And it makes you feel really, really good when you see all your hard work pay off, right? So when you look at that person and you can see that that person is doing well, that that person is in a better state since having met you, spoken with you, bought your products and services, it makes you feel good. And you're more than likely to get a quality referral from such a person. Are these people rare? No, they're not. And it all starts with who you surround yourself with, the language that you use, your own boundaries, your own personal standards, and a really, really deep belief and conviction about the quality of what you provide. If you truly do believe in what you do and its transformative powers, its ability to change people's lives, make their lives better. And, maybe you're a print person, you own a print shop. And when I'm saying all this, you're like, whoa, Julie, I'm not out here to save the world. I just want to print. Well, someone had a need before they came to your shop, right? And if you're able to deliver and you're able to provide great service, honestly, you've made that person's day better. You made that person's life better. You've touched that person. You've done your job and you've done it really well. You've made that person's life easier. You've made things go faster. So, we downplay the results on our clients' lives. And when we do that, we forget just how incredible we are and what we bring to the table and what it's worth. And that doesn't help. Something that I found really, really helps with this is when you are a part of a mastermind or a group of like-minded people. Mine is called the Super Focus Group. I love focus, man. Honestly, I've been through a lot in my life. When it comes to just rock bottoms, I've hit them all. And a lot of people who come out to my different talks or workshops or 3-day events, they get to hear about these struggles and how I overcame them, just to let you know, so that I'm not this person who just wakes up all focused and all dandy. No, we all have our struggles. It's how you overcome them and use that to better yourself that counts. So with the Super Focus Group, you finally get to join your very own mastermind. Now, I know how it feels when you're trying to make something work. It's so lonesome. And you struggle. And maybe you don't have entrepreneurs in your family. So they don't get it. When you come from an environment where you're used to seeing someone work for a paycheck, it can feel like you're not doing a single thing. It can feel like you're so useless because you're doing all this work and you're not seeing that paycheck. So it's great when you're in the company of people who are not meeting so that you can languish in misery, no, but people who are meeting, who are committed, who are accountable to each other, who can share ideas, who can ask questions that only the other people get and completely get, and who can share. So you're together for 7 weeks. You get to bunk your online bunkmates. You get to form really close connections and ties. You get to build relationships that lead to collaborations. And these are the best kinds of collaborations. Why? Because you know someone so intimately and the person knows you and you know where your gaps are. You figured out your buying cycles and where you can complement each other. And you get to put your heads together and come up with awesome stuff that you can offer your clients. The best part about this, one of the best parts about this is once every couple of weeks, I jump on and I give group coaching. So this is going to take place in a secret Facebook group. And the group coaching that I provide is real quick and it's real, just cuts to the chase. So, with the mastermind, we have that collaboration of ideas, of mutual respect and that sort of thing. But because it's called a Super Focus Group, I want us to walk out better than when we walked in. So this is not really like a swimming pool where you come in and you have fun and you walk out. No, we need you to take your laps. So, with a group coaching, I make sure that we're not stuck. I make sure that we are moving along. So when you come into the group, you have your goal. You have what it is that you want to do and what you're looking to accomplish. And the idea here is that you walk out with your resolution. Isn't that awesome? I think that's really awesome. A lot of times people will take online courses or programs, and when you walk out, you're knowledgeable, but you still have your issue. And the ones that I find are so transformative for me is when I walk in with a problem and I walk out without it. I can move on to the next thing. I can do what it is that I was supposed to be doing before this really small thing became a huge part of my day or life. I mean, who wants that? Now, the 7 weeks starts on Monday, August 28th. This is an incredible time. It's right as we go into the fourth quarter of 2017. It's an exciting time to belong to a group of people because, getting back into the swing of things may take a little while, and you could use that support. If you don't belong to a mastermind, or if you belong to a mastermind, but you really need to make a move on some of the things that you're doing. And if you want to be honest, at this point in your life, you want to start seeing some results. You want to start achieving things. You want to start making waves. You really want to start achieving your goals so that you can pay off your debt, so that you can finally go on that trip, so that you can put your kids through school, so that you can retire, so that you can help your parent who needs, a lot of medical coverage because the joints are getting older and they're not working as well as they used to. So if you're in that space where, yeah, it's nice and fun to know people and interact with them, but really at this stage, you're looking for resolution, then the super focus group is for you. It's for you. It's 10 people, 7 weeks, very cozy. You get to know each other intimately. You get to be around each other. It's incredible. And the investment for the 7 weeks is $149. There's a link at the bottom. It's Mastermind 1, juliacatzivo.com/mastermind1. Reserve your space today. This is starting on Monday. So today's Thursday. There are a lot of people who are highly interested in belonging to a tight-knit community of just a few of them and walking through a path together. So don't let that ship sail and leave you behind. You could use company. Here's the company, okay? It's here for you. Now I'm going to ask you to go back to your template. I really want us to get that template down packed. I want us to walk out of here with a greater understanding of the client buying cycle. I want us to walk out of here a part of a mastermind. I want us to walk out of here having signed up for a one-on-one coaching session. As you can see, this is really comprehensive. It covers a lot of your needs and makes sure that you are covered so that you are supported. You have the accountability and you feel supported and you feel that you have a plan and the next steps. And so this is how we're doing this. So get offline, come back at 1:20 because I have more great information here for you. Send me a text, 416-668-9230 with your personalized answers. You will receive that. Again, we're working off the template. We are also going to sign up for the mastermind that starts on August 28th. And we're going to book a one-on-one coaching session so that we can really focus on the next steps. And we're next going to be coming back and talking more about your best and profitable clients, where to find them. Because it's one thing, it's one thing to say that you now know who you're looking for and what their journey is about. And it's quite another to actually know where that person is, right? So I will see you back here at 1:15, okay? Okay, we're back. That's awesome. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put down my phone. Thank you for texting 416-668-9230. We also have just one space left for today, Thursday, August 24th, which will be gone in a few minutes. So go ahead and text me also for your one-on-one session. We're going to go into the next thing. And what I'd like to talk about right now is how to find your best and profitable clients. Where to look, what to say, what about follow-up, and accountability. All the juicy stuff. So we're going to go in. Now, you've been working off of your template, right? And using the information that I've provided so far to help you just get really clear on what it is that your client is looking for, what your client is doing, what your client's frame of mind is, so that you know how to target your marketing, how to make this work. And right now, we're going to go into where to look. This is a biggie for people. And I know when I first started out, again, I didn't know anyone, not a single soul in this industry. And I had my ideal client, I had my message, I had my products, I had my services, and then I'd kind of like go into this big, wide world called the internet and think, where do I start? Where do I look? What do I do? There's so many networking events. Which one do I go to? Which one don't I go to? Now, what I did, because remember I mentioned to you that, I worked alone for 4 years before I got a coach. I learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. And what I've done and what I continue to do is distill those mistakes and give you the success points so that you can apply them. Right? So somebody's got to always, kind of like be the sacrificial lamb and go ahead and make those mistakes for others. In this particular case, that was me. So when it came to finding my best and profitable client, I went to over 200 networking events a month. How is that possible? I would go to several a day, every day. I really was on a mission to find my people. And because there were all these networking events and I didn't know where I was going or what I was doing, I just went to all of them. I went to all of them. And that quickly stopped because I learned, about the culture of the different groups and what I would be attracting from each, what I wanted, what I didn't want. And I've been able to learn a lot from that since then. Now, these days, it's much easier for me to attract my best and profitable client because number one, I know my best and profitable client's buying cycle. Number two, I know the cues in our conversations to know what to offer my best and profitable client. Number three, I have a value system around me and my business. Now, this is something that I work with my clients. We create a vision and we create a value system that you abide by. And what this does is it helps you know your boundaries. It helps you know what feeling you want out of your business and what feeling you want for your clients. So heads up, how you want to feel about your business is the feeling that you must give to your clients. That's how it works. So for me, I love freedom and the sense of freedom. And I always want to feel free, not, overwhelmed or burdened or unhappy or sad. So to get that feeling of freedom when I'm working with clients and they're freed of something and they're free to just jump or fly or swim or do whatever it is that they were blessed and innately given to do or have the expertise to do, I feel more of that sense of freedom. It's great when you're talking to someone and you both feel like you're flying. That's what I always go for. Now, for some of my clients, they look for joy, or they look for peace, or they look for happiness, or they look for laughter. Whatever your cup of tea. It's important to create a value system to know what feeling you want out of your business. And then from that, you will know what kind of people you want to attract and pretty much where they are. I love the go-getters. I love people who are action takers, people who are self-motivated. And so for these people, they don't sit at home and wait to be told where to go and what to do. They'd rather take a chance than not at all. They'd rather get up and go to an event than not at all. So I find them out there, busy, working, trying, doing things. Now, for some people, their clients, due to the nature of the problem that they're facing, may be more in-house. They may be more in closed Facebook groups, or they may be found in brick and mortar locations. So we first start with getting a vision of where you want to be and where your business wants to go. I would encourage you to do that. Now, this is not just accessible to my clients. So if you go on my website, there's a place, I think it's at the bottom of the main page, it should say our programs. It gives you access to unlimited resources, right? And the first month is free. And after that, it's $49 a month. And one of the first two things that you will work on or could work on is the vision. So you get to do this for yourself. So it's not just for my clients. And because this is free for the first month, I would highly encourage you to jump in there and try it out. So create that vision and know what you want from your business. So you'll find that I'm not exactly answering your question right away, how to find your best and profitable client. And that's because everything starts with the vision, everything starts with the mindset. And then out of that, you get to create. Again, the word create. You get to create the kind of work that you want to do, the type of people that you want to serve, who will be your best and profitable. So I encourage you to go on my website and get that, the vision. It'll help you out to create that for you. Okay, so that's juliakatsiva.com. And if you scroll down to the bottom, it should say our programs or online program or resource, something to that nature. Just find it. So now let's say you've worked on your feeling and your vision, and now you need to know where to find your person. Your client buying cycle, that journey that we went through, it's going to show you how. And if you have any questions about that, the number at the bottom there on the screen, 416-668-9230. You can text your name and the question, or text to book a call with me so that I can show you one-on-one what points during your buyer cycle you will find your person. Now, if you remember the template, there are points there where I asked, what are people doing? So, at that point of unease, just before your client actually comes out and says, okay, I need you, I'm paying you, this is over, let's do this. There are things that they do to deal with the discomfort. And this is something that I always teach in my workshops where, all of life is a balance sheet. So if you're having a discomfort on one end, you're compensating for it on the other. There'll never be a situation where you're unhappy with something and just, that's it. Nope. There's something else taking place somewhere else. So there's a compensation taking place at a different level or at a different stage or at a different part of your life. You want to find out where they're overcompensating and meet them at that place. So for a lot of people, like the people that I deal with, they will look for news or information or articles or videos or interact with people on social media. So I meet them at that place. In some industries, so for example, the lawyers, their clients are at the bar, man. Their clients are at the bars. I'm thinking specifically of two clients, of two lawyers. So their clients would be at the bar. For others, their clients could be in clinics, so it's thinking about where they're overcompensating and then going to meet them there with targeted marketing. So at that point, you're giving them information, not to say, hey, you need to sign up with me. Believe you me, even if there's discomfort, that's not the first thing in someone's mind. That's not what they're thinking. They're not thinking, oh, here's something, let me buy it. No, they're just uncomfortable. They're making up for it in many different ways, but they're not really in that place where they're ready to buy. They're still in part A and part B of the template that you're working with. And so what you do at this stage is you're just providing information. You're letting them know subtly that they are it. A lot of people don't think they're in trouble. A lot of people don't think that they need help. A lot of people don't think that they're the ones who are being spoken to until they get to see themselves reflected. And get to hear words that they would use to describe themselves in that situation for them to realize, oh my goodness, that is me. She nailed it. And that's what you want. So in terms of what to say, you are going to use the language that you identified when you were writing the client's journey using the first person, and you're going to use that language. Now, one thing about language that I work with people is, instead of saying, are you tired? Are you lonely? You're going to attract all the tired and lonely people. If you say, are you looking for a company? Do you want to do energetic stuff? You're going to attract people who want to not be tired and lonely, people who want a different state. So the language that you use attracts a state of being. And if you have any questions about that, because it can go quite deep with that, there's the number again, book your one-on-one. The other thing that you can do that's really going to help is when you sign up for the mastermind group and we talk about the state and what you're attracting and what you're doing so that you can accomplish your goals. That's where I come in when we do the group coaching, but also where you and your peers can help each other out when you test your marketing strategies on each other, right? And you say, okay, so what do you guys think about this? This is my next campaign. This is what I'm going to say. When we're following up with our leads, we want to have a system that honors the journey. So you always want to make sure that you're providing information, that you're relevant. Remember, we're not in the business of desperation, eh? And it doesn't matter what your current status is or what your circumstances are. You're here with a solution. There are people who want to pay you, period. There are people who want what you have. There's absolutely no way you would have had the mind to be the person that you are providing what you're providing if there wasn't a matching need in the world. It just wouldn't have occurred to you. It just wouldn't. So there's always a balance sheet taking place here. So you show up because there's a need. And it doesn't matter how many people that you speak with that you get to hear the no. You have to remember that your yes is always around the corner and that it's a balance sheet. So where you're going to get a yes, you have to hear the no. It just goes that way. You got to hear a no. You got to hear the no because your best and profitable client is not just everybody or anybody. And you're going to use your template in the client buying circle so that you know when to follow up, how to follow up, and with what. You always want to be a service provider. You want to provide useful information. You want to stay top of mind. You're not there to just hammer the person to make a sale. Nope, that's not your job. There's a lot of accountability that has to take place with this. Some of those tools have been provided to you. For example, you have this template to work with. That helps keep you accountable when you're making your marketing strategy. You have the number there, 416-668-9230. Text that so that you can have your questions answered during this time only. And after that, you're texting so that you can book your one-on-one call. That will help you. And more importantly, you have your super focus group. Why do I keep coming back to the super focus group? Because you need it. You need it. Let's be honest. You could use the company. You could use the help. You could use the clarity. You could use the focus. You could use the results. I think more importantly, you could use the accountability and the results. We know what we need to do. We know what we have to do. Many times that's not the problem. When I'm signing on my clients, usually they say, I need a plan. That's why I'm signing on with you, Julia. The funny thing is they have a plan. It's just deep within them. It's not been pulled out for one reason or another. Or they don't feel that they have the confidence or the wherewithal to do it or to go through with it. But if you have a group of people to support you, to be with you, to stay with you, to go through a journey with you, it just honestly makes all the difference in the world. It makes all the difference because you're not alone, because you're supported, because you have people who have your back, people who holding on to you. And I'm really passionate about this mastermind because, again, I know just how lonely it is out there trying to make it and and do something good and come out on top and not quite succeeding because maybe you're not getting up on time or you're not doing the one or two things that you know you're supposed to be doing. Sometimes you can't turn to your spouse and just say, you know, I don't know if I can do this or if I can make it. Because maybe your spouse is the same person who said you can't do this, you can't make it. Or maybe because people who've invested in you are not trying to hear that from you, right? Like they want to know that maybe the money that they put in you or the extra time that they took so that they can take care of matters while you figure yourself out is not gone to waste. So it's extremely helpful when you have a group of people who you can talk to. And you know, there's another part that I haven't talked about, which is that you also have a world of information that you can share. And so when your peers are asking you for information, you know what to say to them and you can help them out too. Okay? So let's look at what we've done so far. So in this masterclass, we were going to talk about the buying cycle, why and how it was important for you, how to look at the buying cycle, how to figure it out, and how to create your best and profitable client. I also talked to you about a support system. And in this specific case, I gave you quite a few support systems, right? So you had the ability to send in your questions. Thank you for that. You got your personalized answers. And as you can attest, you got your answers very quickly and they were very specific to your need. Also, you've signed up for your time. You signed up for your time so that we can have a conversation. And you have a few spaces left for the mastermind of which you are joining and starting on your new journey on Monday, right? So knowing your client's buying cycle is key. It gives you the targeted marketing. You're going to get more clients in less time. That stress of just going out there and talking to every Tom, Dick, and Harry and just kind of hoping and crossing your fingers and trusting that it's going to be the next person is gone. Those days are gone. Targeted. Know who you are, know what you're about, and great things will happen. Also, you want to create the client's buying cycle in their language. A lot of times people will go out when I meet them and I say, so what do you do? And they say, oh, I am a holistic health coach. And the difference between me and others is that I look at the whole, the entire person's wellness being, whatever the case may be. You know what? Your client does not speak in that language. Your client does not care. Your client has a joint pain and does not want to use pharmaceuticals. End of story. So we get so carried away when we go to networking events or we meet other people in the industry, and that part of us that wants to please and also be approved and also appear knowledgeable just goes into all this jargon that does not make sense. Whereas if you just speak simply, what do? I help clients heal their joint pains without the use of medication. Done. You see that? So clear, so simple, that the next question is how? And then you talk about your magic. And again, when it comes to talking about your magic, don't describe your system. Nobody cares about your system. Nobody cares about I use a 3-prong approach to, no, we don't care. So in this particular example, if you say how do you do that? You say, well, I use healing energy and I reverse body trauma. That's an example. If someone wants to know more, then you can set up that one-on-one conversation where you allow them to see the benefits of working with you. So, you can create your targeted marketing, but if you're speaking in language that sounds beautiful to your ear, you've lost 99% of the population. If you want more clients in less time, you have to speak in the language of your client. Use their words. You will get their words from your interaction with many different people, including your clients and your potentials. You also want to create content for each stage of the cycle. You want to make that content targeted. You want to make sure that you're speaking to each part and that you are sharing that information through the relevant sources. And I help my clients with that, figuring out how to do that so that they're not, again, wasting their time, their energy, their resources, their money. Also, with the client's buying cycle, it helps you listen for cues during conversations. You know, gone are the days, again, when you get really excited when you're speaking with someone and you think, oh, yeah, I've got a client here. She's perfect. She's perfect. No, you don't know that. She could be at the awareness stage. If someone's at the awareness stage, they're not spending money on you. You know that. They're going to take all the information you provide. They're going to listen and they're going to forget about it because they're not even in the consideration phase. So you just listen in, you ask a lot of questions, and you listen and you will learn what stage someone is at what point so that you know what to provide. Again, as you can see, you end up not wasting a lot of your time. This is really important for me, that we are super focused on what we do so that we can get the results that we want. I mean, you're listening to this not because you want to be stuck where you are right now. You want to get to another level because there are things that you have to do. I mean, let's be honest. The clients that you get, the money that you make, it's to help you get to a different level in your personal life. So yes, you're here for service, but you're also more than that. You're an individual with your own goals and dreams for yourself and your family. And it's important to remember those goals and dreams. And that's why it's really, really important that we follow the next steps here. I reiterate this because you can take all the information that I've provided and you can try and do this alone, but you've also tried to do that before and it hasn't quite worked because, you know, life gets in the way. And it's harder when you're alone to be that self-motivated and to go it alone and come up with any useful results. So before your 10 spaces are gone, you want to be one of them. Join the Super Focus Mastermind. You get a rest over the weekend where you get to really think about what you want to accomplish at the end of 7 weeks. And then join the mastermind. Now, you know, it doesn't have to be a really big goal. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular or special. Really, the key point here is that you have company, that you're not alone, that you have company, that you have accountability, that you have support, and there's a coach on deck. So my job isn't to jump in and answer every question. That's not it at all. It's a mastermind. But it really helps to know that you're getting that extra value. I mean, my time is half an hour is $480 US. So to know that you're getting all of this inclusive time in 7 weeks for a really affordable $149, come on now. We're talking up-leveling in a really meaningful way. Also, don't forget the resources. It's available. It's $49 US a month for unlimited access to the resources. Work on your vision because your first month is free. So you might as well just really get started on that. So it's an awesome way to have the unlimited resources while you're in the mastermind and get yourself situated. Let's make 2017 different, right? I mean, that's why you're here. That's why you're looking for information. That's what you want. So I'm giving it to you. If you haven't signed up for your Focus one-on-one session, please do. And do this because you're ready to up-level your business. We want you at a different state. We want you doing other things by the time we're done speaking and by the time we're done collaborating. And the number there is 416-668-9230. When you text that number, you are going to get your link and you are going to be able to book a time to speak with me. I love connection. And as you can see, I'm most everywhere. So make sure that we are connected. Sorry. Yep, I'm glad that we're about to wrap up. My voice is almost gone. So let's make sure that we stay connected. I am on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. As I mentioned before in the beginning, my articles are on Forbes.com and other publications under leadership, business, entrepreneurship. I provide a lot of information that's useful and that will up-level your business and your state of mind. And I definitely want you to connect and share with me what your takeaways are and what you think. I didn't put this here, but I have a hashtag. It's Dream Life Habits. Dream Life Habits. And that's what we're trying to do here, is we're trying to cultivate the habits that will sustain and give us our dream lives, right? And our dream lives include awesome work that is profitable, that works with our best and profitable clients. So if you can share your takeaway, it also will help someone else in my community and tribe who's looking and also wants to up level and learn. That's how we learn from each other, right? So before I leave, I want you to make sure that you see the value of the Super Focus Group. It's 10 people. I want you there. I want you there. I want you there. I want you one of us. Your very own mastermind. You get to be a part of this incredible 7-week online accountability program. And you have your group coaching for the really tricky spots because it's there. You know, the one thing that we experience all the time, even after all the training that we go through, is how do I speak with my spouse to let him or her know how important this is for me or how necessary this is for me? So yeah, this is where you have the people who are on the same journey with you, who understand what you're going through and who are there to support you and provide answers and feedback. Before you go try something on other people, you can try it out on your very own online bunkmates. And I found that a lot of collaboration takes place as well. So we have people who collaborate, people who turn into your clients, people who have access to your target market. It's a great place to be. So juliacativo.com/mastermind. Join us. We start on Monday and we go on for 7 weeks. And let's just graduate super focused and have very incredible things. So as you can see, we're at the end of the program here. And I'd like to thank you for having been a part of this with me. I mean, like I said, I don't take this for granted at all. This is really important to me to do this work. It helps fulfill my mandate, my purpose here on earth. And it also helps me realize my own dreams. It is true that when we help other people succeed, we succeed too, you know? And I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing if I didn't have people to serve. So knowing that I have people to serve is incredible for me, and I appreciate it. And I wish you an awesome rest of the afternoon. If you are watching the replay, please make sure that you jump on the opportunity to join the mastermind in the next 1 hour, because they will be done. They will be gone. And I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity to start September with a bang. Again, accountability and support, and people who get it. And that's what you want, right? I'm Julia Catsivo. I am your focus coach, and thank you for joining me for the Find Your Best and Profitable Clients Masterclass.